Hello everyone, I'm back again with this video, and in this video I'm going to discuss with the writing task 1 of IELTS for general training, the letter writing. So without wasting any time, let's begin with the topic. And before we can begin, I want you to take out your copies and notebooks and anything that you have so that you can just note it down and follow this pattern. Okay, so if you can see, the letters are of three types: formal, informal and semi-formal. Formal letters are those when you write to any official thing, like a government office, or it can be at your office, or it can be your friend's office, or school and college. Informal letter is when you write to your friends, your family members, the neighbors you know. Now, there is a third category. The third category is semi-formal letters. Neighbors you don't know, new neighbors, or anyone in your street, or anyone living in your area, in your town, whom you don't know. Shops and malls. You get a lot of letters related to shops and malls. For an example, I give you an example of the shop letter. Recently you bought a mixer grinder and it was not working. Write a letter to the shopkeeper for replacing it or returning it, right? And again, mall. So these are very common letters, but I have seen that most of the students don't know the difference between the formal, informal and semi-formal, because there are slight variations in the format of all of these three letters. Okay, so guys, before we can start with the format of all the three letters, there are certain things that you must keep in mind before writing your letter. So let's begin with that. The first one is number of words. Your number of words mustn't exceed 200 and minimum required word length is 150. Next, number of paragraphs. You must always make 3 paragraphs. The first one is the introduction, second is the main body para, and third is conclusion. So first will be the intro, second main, and the third is conclusion. So you can see that I have written the approximate length of words that you must write in each para. So for para number 1, it is around 20 to 30, and same is with the para number 3, that is the conclusion. And in the center you must write your whole letter, 120 to 140 or 150 words. So this is where you are going to get your marks. Now, the alignment should always be on the left hand side, as I explained in the earlier video. For the essay, the alignment should always be on the left hand side of the page. For an example, you start your paragraph here. This is your first para, and then you leave a whole line. You leave a whole line for the next para, and then your next para should also start from the left hand side. You mustn't leave any gap before the start of your para. Previously, it used to be that format where you had to leave a line or you had to leave some space, but currently in IELTS, this is the latest format that is accepted by the examiner. So the alignment must always be on the left hand side. So guys, as far as the format for the informal letter goes, so this is how you need to start your letter. Dear, and then you write the relation. For an example, you are writing to your father. So you can write dear father, dear papa, dear daddy. You can use any word because this is an informal letter. If you're writing to your mother, dear mama, dear mummy, or dear mother. If you're writing to your sister, then write the name, dear, and name of your sister. If you're writing to your brother, then dear, again the name of the brother. If you're writing to your neighbor, then dear, neighbor's name. If you want to write the relation like dear neighbor, it doesn't look nice, so you must write the name of the neighbor, because informal letter are for those neighbors whom you know. So if you know your neighbors, you must also know their name. So you simply put the name of your neighbor at the start, and if you can see in the end also yours relation. So if you're writing dear father, so you will write yours son or yours daughter, and same goes with brother and sister. If you are writing to your sister, you will write yours sister or your brother, and in the end you must write your own name. I'm repeating this, in the end you must write your own name. If you can see at the start, we'll come back to this again, At the start you will write dear relation, then you leave a line, and after leaving a line you have to write an introduction for 2 or 3 lines. Now there are many ways to write the introduction. I have written a template. You can use this same template in any of the informal letters. It will work. But in case you know better ideas, if you can write according to the letter, according to the demand of the letter, that would be much better. Then you again leave a line after the introduction. Then you write your main paragraph, in which you write around 140-50 words describing each and everything about the letter. So when you get a letter in the exam, in the question it is clearly given the demands of the question. So you just need to follow the questions one by one, and you must answer it in your main paragraph. Now, there can be 4 paragraphs made in the letter, there can be 2 paragraphs, there can be 3. I think this system is the perfect one, because you do not have a lot of space in your writing sheet in the exam. Its width is more, but length is not there. So if you ask for an extra sheet, it can waste around 5 or 6 minutes of yours. So I believe that the sheet you get, and if you write normally, I think you will be able to complete your task in the given sheet. So writing 120, 40 or 50 words in a main paragraph, then again leave a line, and then in the ending you can simply write hope to see you soon. Or it can depend on the kind of letter you are writing. Suppose you are writing for the invitation of something, so in the end you can write, so I hope that you and your family members will visit the function and will grace the occasion with your presence. So you can change accordingly, you can vary according to the situation and the demand of the letter. Then you leave a line, and in the end you can write your relation and name. So the workbook that I'll be giving to you during the classes, it contains more than 60-70 solved letters. So you can read all those letters, and then you'll come to know that what sort of ideas we can put in all those letters, right? Now this is the format for informal letter. Please take a screenshot and memorize the format. So guys, this is the format for formal letter. So as you can clearly see, that major portion of the format remains the same. Like you have a starting, you have an ending, and then you have 3 paragraphs: the introduction, the main para, and the conclusion. So the format, the alignment, number of paragraphs remains absolutely the same. The only change happens at the start and the ending. So what are the changes at the start? You must always write dear sir / madam. So when you are writing to an unknown person whom you don't know, if you are writing to a college and you don't know whether the principal is a male or a female, so you must always start your letter with dear sir / madam. Or if you know about your boss, if you're writing a letter to your boss, then you certainly know whether he is a male or she is a female. So then you must not write dear sir / madam. Then you must specify the gender. Like if you know that your boss is male, then you must write dear sir. Or if you know your boss is female, then you must write dear madam, comma. But if it is an unknown person, then you must always write this, dear sir / madam. Then you leave a line, and then you start your introduction with this: I am writing this letter to you regarding. And then after regarding, you must mention the main subject of the letter, the reason of you writing this letter, in 2 to 3 lines, not more than that. Your introduction mustn't exceed 30 words. Once your introduction is over, you again leave a line, and then you write your main para, and in main para again you have to write 120 to 150 words. You can split your main para if you have different information to give, but it is advised to not make more than 3 paragraphs. So once your main para is over, again leave a line, and in the end you can write this: I hope that you look into this matter and act soon, because most of the formal letters are regarding any issues that you are getting, and then you have to resolve those issues. But in some letters it can change, it can be a complaining letter. So in the workbook that I have given you, you have all the different situation and the startings and endings of the essays according to that, endings of letters, sorry. So you can see those phrases and you can use it accordingly to the situation. Then you leave a line, and then you can write yours truly, and then your name. So in the end, you must always write yours truly. Yours obediently is wrong. Yours faithfully is okay, and yours truly is also okay. You can also write yours faithfully.